My 28F husband 34M wants my daughter to stop gymnastics because he thinks it is inappropriate. How could I get him to understand he doesn't always know what is best for her? My daughter is 7 years old. She is the daughter of a former partner, not my husband, and she sees her father one weekend each month. My husband and I married each other when she was 5 years old after being together for almost 6 years, and we have been married for 2 years. I am currently about 22 weeks pregnant with my husband's baby, who is also a girl. My daughter has been doing gymnastics since she was 5 years old. I started her in it because I wanted her to have a hobby and so she can stay fit. I was a figure skater when I was younger, but I never got to compete any more than nationally because I got injured many times. But I enjoyed having a passion, and she enjoys gymnastics. All of my daughter's coaches have said she is naturally talented, and she is. She's naturally flexible, dexterous, and loves to perform. This is her first season competing in competitions. She is very excited about it. She loves the leotards, the makeup and the hair, the competition. It is a lot of work and long days, but she does enjoy it. This was the first competition my husband had watched her in, as he was occupied with work during the other ones. She did very well and even got a medal for her age category for hoop. She was very happy, and I was too. However, I noticed my husband was not very enthusiastic about the whole thing. When we got home and she was in bed, I asked him if everything was alright, as he seemed a bit disinterested today. He said that he thinks what she is doing is inappropriate and it is not a good reflection on our family. I asked what he thought was inappropriate, and he said that the leotards, the music, the makeup, the splits, opening her legs in front of everyone, and the shaking of her bottom all seemed very sexual, and he didn't approve of it, and that he thinks that she should do figure skating like I did, or something like ballet, as it is far more appropriate. I will admit sometimes the leotards other girls wear can be inappropriate, but I always make sure her leotards cover her body and are not too high cut. She loves the makeup and the hair. It's like dressing up for her. I don't control her music or her routine, but it isn't any different to what all the other little girls do. I think she looks adorable, and not many men are watching her. Just the fathers of the other children. She enjoys it. It helps keep her slim, and it's good for her. I told him that, and he said that he is the one who pays for all of it, so if he thinks it isn't appropriate, he can make the decision for her to stop. She would be devastated if she had to stop gymnastics, and I told him that. I doubt she would enjoy figure skating, and she doesn't like ballet very much, as she does some of it with one of her coaches to improve her gymnastics. He seems to think he knows what is best for her, but she loves gymnastics, and it's good for her to have a hobby that she enjoys, but I don't know how to get him to understand that.
Update. Slight chance my 39M pregnant wife, 38F, had an affair. Should I ask for a paternity test or wait? So she was out of state on a business trip until late last night. It's Friday, so she worked from home in our kitchen. So I asked to talk and brought it up and asked for a test. She immediately said yes and said there's zero doubt, nothing that she'd even have a second to worry about. But she has no problem doing it now. The only caveat I left it with is, if it's invasive at all per our doctors, then I'm not waiting until it's low risk. I'm not a doctor, no clue what they have to do it now, so not sure when we are. But she's aware and we are getting one. It was a decent and longer conversation. We are currently sitting together getting lunch. She's got no clue I did this on Reddit, hence the new account because she is on here somewhere. Thank you everyone for your help and opinions. A bunch of you made me realize that we are already really open about everything, and if nothing happened, then she wouldn't worry about getting one. I was more worried about her health and adding some insane level of stress if it was an issue, as she's an at-risk pregnancy and it took so long for us to get pregnant. So again, thank you all for the help. I suppose I can update if it's mine or not, but I'm not sure how long that will be. I'm 90 to 95% sure it is mine, but this will help us continue this conversation. Thank you. Update. Just because it seemed to be more of a topic on this post because the other one for some reason. Yes, I have the footage. No, I haven't talked to Matt yet. He's told her he wants to talk about it, but I told them to wait on that. My relationship with my wife and the paternity is what's important right now. I will eventually talk with Matt. No, I'm not going to get Matt's wife involved intentionally. I don't know why I would other just be vindictive. I'm not going to cover for him obviously, but his relationship is his, and mine is mine. I'm not interested in making this worse. Whatever is going on between him and his wife isn't any of my business.
My F25 husband, M30, says our house will never be mine. How do I move past this? Me and my husband have been married for almost 1 year and have been together for 7. I work a job in media while he works as a therapist of sorts. We have been living in my inherited home that has been in my family for many years. Over the past few years, we have both agreed the house and the location is just not ideal. With the housing market being what it is, we have sucked it up and continued to live here. Recently, we were offered to purchase my husband's family home. It's a good house that needs a lot of work, but I am confident we can do what we need to for under $15,000 in renovations, so we are planning to move there and begin renovating. We were both happy and excited until the other day when we were talking about it. Out of nowhere, he told me, "I want you to know this house will never be yours. If we divorce or anything, you will have no right to live there anymore." And I found this hurtful and odd. This was never a discussion in the years we have lived in our current home. I would never plan on taking his family home if we were to separate, but it felt like a stab to the heart, especially when we are trying to have kids. I told him it would be a marital asset since I'm paying half the mortgage and half the renovations. I would never fight you for the house, but I don't plan on getting divorced. This made him very upset. He said he would rather not move in if there's a chance a judge would determine I had any rights over the home. Was I wrong? How do I move past this with him? I just found out I 34F would have no claim on my fiance's 35M and mine's marital home. I feel deceived and don't know how to proceed. I've been engaged to my fiancé, Matt, for 6 months now. I'm also 7 months pregnant and have a 4-year-old child from a previous marriage. We had plans to marry 5 months ago, but his grandpa passed away, and in order to observe the mourning period, we postponed our wedding. Now, I am making this post precisely because I read another story here about how a husband tried to financially screw his wife over by getting his dad's name on property and then transferring it to him so that the property isn't connected at all to the marriage and by extension the wife. I'm also a stay-at-home parent to my 4-year-old, been nesting for our baby on the way. My fiancé has been in the family business with his dad for many years now and rent right now. I already knew of my fiance's plans for our first home together, which is currently in the process. He has put down deposits for our home in his dad's name, which will be transferred to him shortly. He said that this was for tax purposes, and I never bothered doing any research on this, but now I can see this is to ensure that he doesn't lose the house in case we separate. We have a prenup, and I talked to him about this, and I agree that this is his asset from money saved over the years, and now I can't help but wonder if I should have known better. I don't have a good feeling about this, especially since we have been having talks about reviewing our prenup. He says he is doing this to ensure the prenup doesn't get overturned and that he needs this to feel secure in our relationship. Before meeting him, I was living by child support, still am, and private tutoring kids, but after getting pregnant, I wanted to focus on family and stop working. I mean, I can pick up tutoring anytime, I am licensed, but the fact that I cannot have any claim on our marital home seems wrong. How should I proceed? TLDR, I'm engaged to Matt, pregnant, and have a 4-year-old from a previous marriage. We delayed our wedding due to his grandpa's passing. Recently, I read about a husband financially protecting himself by transferring property to his dad, similar to what Matt is doing with our home. He claims it's for tax reasons and security. We have a prenup, but I'm uneasy about not having a claim on our home. I quit work to focus on family. Unsure how to move forward, edit. He's majorly financing the house through his savings plus sale of 1% shares. It also includes some of my own savings accumulated over the years till 10% of the whole initial deposit value. Edit 2. I know my contribution is small, but I still came forward and offered to finance some part of our home, and he took it, and now I feel foolish. I don't know, I just feel upset that my fiancé knew this will screw me over. His lawyer probably told him to do that without consulting me so that I don't stop him, and now it's too late. Plus, as a homemaker, I do most of the housework, and in the event we separate, I'd like to be compensated for that. I just can't believe did that. I'm floored right now. I just feel like I knew just enough so that I don't accuse him of non-disclosure, open claim that I didn't do my research with my own lawyer. I've been extremely busy with pregnancy and managing my 4-year-old's ADHD, so I wouldn't have time to do my due diligence. I trusted he's safe. I feel like he took advantage of how bad it's been for me. Am I the asshole for giving my ex-fiancée a fake engagement ring? It was an honest-to-God marriage proposal. I very much wanted to marry her. She is just a klutz, and I didn't trust her with the real thing. I took her to Coachella for the second weekend and to propose. It was a great time, and she got to see no doubt who she loves because her dad used to listen with her when she was a baby. Anyway, I asked her to marry me, and she said yes. She loved the ring. I had had it sized, but it was the brass and moissanite copy I had made so she would not lose or damage the real one at the concert, which she promptly did, and then she pretended not to. She said it was too tight and that she had put it away until we got back to Phoenix. When we got back, she asked me where I got the ring. I told her and she tried to replace it until they told her how much it cost. She came to my place crying to tell me she lost the ring to beg my forgiveness. I told her right away that it was no big deal because I had the real one with and we could go get it sized perfectly so she wouldn't lose it. My mistake because she effing lost it. She went off on me for making her not enjoy the weekend because she was worried sick that she had lost her ring. If she had told me she lost it, I would have told the truth. That I didn't want to take any chances with her ring at that massive venue. She screamed at me that I was a complete asshole to make her worry like that. She said a lot of stuff that I guess had been building for a while, and she said things she could not take back. I told her to get out. She asked for her real ring. I said no. I am not marrying someone who thinks this is the way to behave towards me. I told her she had to, or I would get the security guys to get her out. She is only signed in as a guest, so it is not a big deal for me to get her out. I feel like I dodged a bullet, but also kind of bad that I didn't tell her of the concert that it was fake so she wouldn't worry. My parents are wondering why we broke up and I don't know what to say. Update. It was a test, and apparently, I failed. She didn't lose the ring. She took it to get it appraised and found out it was fake. I guess their plan was to get me to apologize, then rush out and replace it. When I told her I had the real ring safe and ready to go, she freaked out. I have spoken with friends, and they all agree that the people saying that I should not have picked a place she loves, at an event she loves, and that we could return to every year on the anniversary of the proposal are idiots. I showed them the post, and they agree that there is a market for a safe room for people who are afraid to propose anywhere meaningful do so. I'm still happy that I found out how mercurial she could be before we entered into a lifelong commitment. There is nothing else to update. Thanks for the advice and alternative views on my situation.